One thing that we're focused on is creating a larger community in the area. Yes, there's still a big market for the Molson Coors, the Buds, right? But that's getting smaller. And when that gets smaller by a point,
Yep.
that's a huge opportunity.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 2 of the Ottawa Craft Beer Insider, brought to you by The Wood on Wellington. We are really happy to be here in Canada at Calabogie Brewing today. We've got all the gang here. Pat Whalen, Hugh Colbert, Tom Leger, Tom Kelly are the guys responsible for this beautiful space here. We're going to get into what Calabogie is all about. I think we're going to start with Tom Kelly. I'm going to have trouble with all the Toms here. Walk us through your love, your passion for craft beer, and how we come to be sitting here in Canada, like I said, in this beautiful space that you've got here.
Well, thanks, Chris. It's great to have an opportunity to participate in your podcast here and to talk about this. I think it's great for us to share our message. And, for your question, where we are here, Calabogie started in 2015. So we're coming up on our 5th year anniversary, and we've seen some fantastic growth. Canada, the facility here that you see around us, this was our first major expansion, and this is where we do all of our volume and commercial brewing. We still have our great location in Calabogie, Ontario, which is more where we're doing our seasonal brewing, and we have a great tap room there, right by the lake and the river. Who doesn't love craft beer, right? It is
Right
a
on.
fantastic market, and it's a great area to be creating and selling and really giving people what they want in terms of product that is made locally, and it's made with people in mind what they want. Like, they're looking for flavor, they're looking for nuance, they're looking for product that that speaks to them, just like where wine went through in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, that's one of the things that I love about the craft beer community is the passion almost and the emotion that guys like yourself put into their product, but also the people that enjoy it. Can you sum up maybe what you want the Calabogie brand to represent?
Absolutely. I mean, I want Calabogie to represent, and I think it does, with the team that we have here. It's quality, and it's just great beer. At the end of the day, who doesn't love to have a great beer? Whether it's a Pilsner, whether it's a Kolsch, an IPA, or a Stout. And we want that beer to taste the same every time you come in. So if you like our Black Donald, if you like our Pilsner, that's going to be the same beer when you come in 6 months or you come in every week. So that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we want people to know Calabogie for.
Pass the mic down to you. You handles the brewing, and to that point about the quality and consistency. I know that you guys have invested a lot in getting to that point where you've got that consistency. Maybe just walk us through quickly the steps that you guys have put in place.
Yeah,
to make
absolutely.
sure to ensure that quality that people come to expect.
So about a year and a half ago, we put in a lab in-house. So we test our beer for microbial contamination, as well as pH throughout the process, temperature, and all that stuff. So we have a good grasp of where our beer is, as well as what our shelf life is going to be. We've invested in equipment that can measure dissolved oxygen in the beer. So dissolved oxygen equals a shorter shelf life, basically.
Yep.
So we can catch that upstream before the product reaches the consumers, and ensure that the shelf life is as long as it can be. So a consistent product is what we really strive for.
I think that, all that stuff kind of like the behind the scenes, I don't know if enough people appreciate.
Right. Yeah. A lot of work goes into it.
Yeah.
So.
If I could add to that.
Yeah, jump in,
kind
Tom.
of combine between Tom and Hugh what they said.
Yep.
Is we love what the founders did with the brand at the beginning. They made a great tasting beer, and that was the craft side of it. So when we went through 2019, we committed to that craft, and we have guys like you and Pat and Mike, the brewers, that help us develop the beers, and we're committed to the craftiness, but we want the quality side, and we're building the team to commit to the quality and get the consistency from beer to beer and batch to batch.
Is that that's got to be a big part of kind of going to, for lack of a better term, going to the next level, right? If it, and there's nothing about the smaller brewers who, like I said, so much passion, that they brew with passion, but I think that's the thing. People are looking for that consistency and the quality, and I think that's the thing that's kind of within the craft beer space is kind of separating the contenders and the pretenders now, isn't it?
Absolutely, and actually it's helped us win some business throughout the year, looking at our quality commitment, and customers can see it. First of all, when you go and do a tasting, they love the taste of the beer, which is great, but when we're in with a customer, they love that consistency. And it's not just from a beer perspective, it's also from a delivery perspective, a whole customer experience perspective. So that is what is going to separate people in this industry, and now that the craft industry is embedded, in the licensing market.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at the operation that you've got here now, maybe just quickly, how much you've expanded. Like you said, I love that you still got the connection with the original Calabogie out in the valley, because I think that's another important part, I think, of the craft beer experience is people love local. They want to feel a connection to a brand. The quality's got to be there first, but I think people also love being able to identify with a brand and feel like, that the brand is about the same things that they are. And I think that's huge here in Ottawa. Maybe just talk about capacity now, going from the operation that was out in the valley to what you can do here now.
Yeah.
Just in terms of volume.
Absolutely. Well, it did start in Calabogie, and they were able to grow the business to a certain level. And then when the partners acquired the business, as Tom said, we expanded this facility, and it was a 4x expansion to capacity. And throughout 2019, we did grow the business, and we're actually expanding again this year to another 2x. We've also invested in a canning line, and of course that's the next great step in the development of a craft brewery to control costs and drive costs to the bottom line. So, we're a true business and a going concern. But, when you talk about the brand and being rooted in Calabogie and coming to Canada, we have a unique situation here with the tech park, but then also with the cottagers in Calabogie. And, maybe Patty can expand on that strategy and how we're taking advantage of that.
Yeah, let's go down to Pat.
Yeah, sure. So I've come on here after the brewery part was in play and the tap room was a shell. I mean, I think from your knowledge and what we've seen, that another revenue stream for places that brew beer is to have a place that's comfortable to sell it and enjoy it at the site.
Yeah, and I think, people want a full-on experience, right?
100%.
Like they want to come and have their favorite beer, but they want to make a night of it. So that means I want to eat, I want to enjoy the ambience. And then again, I think that goes back to, the way you experience your craft beer. A lot of it comes down to the space, the people that you're sharing it with.
Exactly, like brewing good company. So if you look at where you would get beer, it's in a pub, your favorite haunt in your town, your favorite restaurant. Okay, so if you're talking local, why not enjoy it at the source of a locally made product? Why not have a steak cooked for you at the farm, right? Type of thing. So with our connection to Calabogie, I think site-wise, there's not a prettier spot to have a cold craft beer in the valley than on that patio in the summertime right on the river. Like when I walked out there, and Tom explained this to me and Tom have been friends for years in the same community, our kids play sports together. I'm a restaurant background. So what I bring here is the food side of things, service side of things, but to help Tom and Hugh, I was the guy they're pitching to.
Right.
I owned a very successful restaurant that our whole basis was local, right? We were one of the first ones to serve Ashton Brewery outside of Pat's and Quinn's, you know?
Yep.
So, hey, guys, you're pitching to me. I'll tell you what I like to hear and what I like to see, and does that work for our model? So that's where I help these guys in sales. Here, I've done this all my life, from going to chef school to learning the food side, and then for the last 15, 20 years on the service side of things. What do people want to see? It's, casual approach, but your money's being spent well and appreciated.
Yeah.
There's no pomp and circumstance. You're in a brewery. But hey, why can't what you have, what me and Tom in our extensive food prep of having beers and say, what do you want to eat? Pizza.
Yeah.
Is where we came up with what we do here.
Talk about that, because as we're in here, I can see the pizza oven getting fired up there. And I mean, how do you make those decisions in terms of what the strategy is? Like, what's going to complement your the beer experience?
It comes down to a few dictating things, which is what kind of kitchen, what are we going to do? And I'm always a firm believer of the menu dictates the space.
Okay.
So me and Tom agreed that the best thing to share and to have craft beer with, one of the best, is pizza. So that's our focus.
I'm with you on that one.
Right.
After years of extensive
that's
research
right.
on my part, yes, it is a good combination.
You'll never stop that research.
No.
Yeah, that's
no.
right. That's right.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, and if you look at the trends of pizza, it's up and down. Like, it's a big restaurant trend right now. It's a great product to sell, and it's a great product that has different takes on it, like craft beer.
Yeah.
Chicago style, Neapolitan style, American style. You know what I mean? Like, there's endless amounts. We offer good pie, personal size, and then we have what else you're going to do. We don't expect to do a bunch of night business here. We expect after work to pop in, have a cold beer, have a bite, grab your weekend fill or your night fridge, whatever you need from our retail. Lunch, very busy out here, right? So what can we also do in a timeline? You're in and out for an hour. We're going to fill in 45 minutes from now.
Yep.
How do we service that, right? So that helps it starts to dictate what you can actually do for a menu.
Right.
So on us, we do good food that's prepared quickly and make sure the customer, we've done beer dinners out here, 4 courses, paired with the dinners, push the pizza oven to its limits of what it can cook.
Right.
But then generally on our general service, our menu is simple but good, right? And we do the same version of this menu in Calabogie with a smaller kitchen, all right? Because it's great to have a beer, but you need to have a second beer with a piece of pie.
And I think we're sitting here in Canada, and I think it's interesting what's going on here, because it's almost like a burgeoning craft beer community out there. I don't know which one of you guys want to address this, but I think it's interesting what's going on with, a couple of other breweries in this area right here.
I'll start with that. I love it.
Yeah.
We're turning into a district, and I think one of the things I'll touch on is the great part of having our partners the way they are now is they have a vision, and let's not, dance around this. Here's the vision. How do we get there? Let's do that. If you need that, Patty, you got it. Tom, if you need that, let's get it. Show me what it is, and let's get it, right? If you think that's the best route for us to be going in, we agree with you. Okay, let's do it. Let's not do it in 5 years. Let's do it now, right? And I love that. When I built this area, I called one of the partners, Bosley, from the Charlie's Angels, because he was a box on a phone in Florida.
That's
and
funny.
I go, when are we going to meet? I've already spent $100,000 on you. You know what I mean? Like, let's, So out here, going back to that, we got Big Rig right next door. We've got Small Pony right next door.
Yeah.
It's great. So you can park in that parking lot or this parking lot and do a little tour, of some great craft brewed areas with good tap rooms.
Yeah.
I'll let anybody else go on
that for a second. I think just to build on a little bit of what Chris, you and Patty were just talking about there. There's with this location as well as with the Calabogie location in Calabogie. What we're trying to do is it's about authenticity, right? And we could have, when we were originally building this out, it's the architect had walls across here and like maybe little windows, and we didn't want that. We're like, look, we got to get the city to approve this because we want when you come in to have a beer. Why are you coming here? Yeah, we're going to have good food. Absolutely. But you're coming here because, frankly, you're sitting in the middle of an operating brewery.
Yeah.
And, brews are happening when you're having here. You can see the tanks. They're always full. Stuff's happening. That is part of what this is. And we're very much to what Patty was talking about, the broader vision. This area, Ottawa in general has fantastic craft beer. There's lots of craft brewers throughout. In this particular area, one thing that we're focused on is creating a larger community in the area, and Patty touched on it, really kind of creating more of a district type of a destination here. Would I like to have another 2, 3, 4, craft breweries, maybe craft distillery, come out to this area? There's space, and I think it'd be fantastic because there's competition in the craft market. We would like to take that tap other than, over the next guy. Absolutely. But it's also friendly competition. We want the other craft. Yeah. We want the other craft brewers to succeed. What's really nice about it where we are right now, where we've been, and where we're probably going to be for another 5, maybe 10 years, is yes, there's still a big market for the Molson Coors, the Buds, right? But that's getting smaller. And when that gets smaller by a point, that's a huge opportunity for the craft market. It's huge. And yeah. And so and I think part of that enables that friendly competition in the industry because we're trying to go for that tap and we're positioning ourselves and we're getting in because we feel our beer is better quality, whatnot. But there's other opportunities and the other craft, it's not blocking the other craft breweries there. So I think that's where the friendly competition kind of is in play. And frankly, I just think at its absolute core, it's great beer. Craft beer is great beer. Yes, sometimes, you go into places and they're brewing a recipe with, basically showing up saying, what am I going to do today?
Right.
That's cool too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's room. There's room in the space for all of that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
I think now replicating that and kind of having people come in saying, I loved that raspberry stout that you did.
Yeah.
Pour me another. They have more challenges when they go, ooh, this tastes completely different.
Right.
Right. But that's not where we're playing. Right. We're more in the we put a ton of time and effort into the recipe work.
Yep.
I mean, Hugh and his team just kudos. They work black magic on this, but when we come out with something, we really want to support it, and we want to make sure that the people who like it can always come back to get it.
Let's go through. I want each of you to touch on what's your favorite and why. Go ahead, you.
All right, so my favorite, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, no, my favorite is probably the Bleep Bloop. So it's our Northeast style IPA. It's brewed with Citra, Galaxy, Mosaic, and Equinaut hops. It's very tasty, very tropical, smooth.
That's what
easy drinking.
And this is the other thing that I love about the craft beer experience. So I'm an IPA guy, and I got friends who are into stouts. My kids are into sours. I mean, there's a place in the spectrum for just about everybody to find what you like.
Yes.
So why does that appeal to you? Why do you like the Bleep Bloop?
Well, I just really enjoy hops. So
same here.
So I'm a bit of an IPA guy. But I mean, to touch on your point, we have one of everything basically. So we've got our, Northeast IPA, a West Coast style IPA, a Pilsner, a Kolsch, an Amber, a Stout, and that's just our core lineup. And then we have barrel aged beers, sours, gozes in the summertime.
Yep.
different IPAs coming out all the time. So it's a broad spectrum for sure.
All right, Pat, step up.
So, yeah, what I love about, call this our core lineup, and me and Tom talk about this all. Like, I play in a men's league slow pitch. I do stuff in the community. I am close to 50 years old. I've got a lot of friends that they don't understand craft.
Yeah.
Not that they don't like great beer, they just don't understand, and they're afraid of it. So I think some of our lineup, and what I love about some of it, it's approachable.
Yes.
Of some of these core. Not all.
Yep.
Some of them are too past the spectrum. If you're not a stout drinker, you're not a stout drinker. You know.
Yep.
If you're not an IPA, I can tell you why you're not, because you don't like hops. A lot
Yeah.
of hops.
Yep.
But for our Pilsner and our K&P Amber, I bring that when it's my beer night, and these guys love it. Right? Where can I get it? So I like the approachability of and this is my pitch to a restaurant. Hey, when I owned one, I wanted them to have 3, right? Not
Yeah.
something so crafty that they have 1 and then they're having a glass of water because they're full.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's my love of what some of our core brand, but then I just love good craft beer. So my favorite right now. It all depends on what I'm in the mood for, but either the Bogey or the K&P, and then when I'm camping, I love the Pilsner. It's in a shorty.
Yeah.
In the end, I like my beer cold.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I don't drink fast enough for the tall boys, but
But
I
that-
love the short pills.
And this goes back to the point that I'm making, like that the beer experience is so personal.
yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Like when I'm at home, I love drinking. I grew up in Montreal. I'm used to the tavern experience. I like to
Legion
drink
glasses.
my beer from we
Yeah.
used to call them the little Coke glasses,
Yeah.
right? Like
in Newfoundland, they're Legion glasses, right?
right.
Give me a Legion glass full of beer. Yeah.
That's the way I like to
Yeah.
enjoy my beer. And
Yeah,
I-
100%.
sometimes I'll be in a place and I'll be like, "Have you got a small glass?" And
Yeah.
I'm getting like sideways glances from people who are
Yeah.
like, "What?" But
Yeah.
it's such an individual
It is. It is.
experience.
It's taken to someone's an IPA. I'm a Pinot drinker. I'm a first and foremost wine. I love my wine.
Yeah.
But I'm in love with Pinots, and you can take that everywhere, from Burgundy to Portland to everywhere, to Canadians. If the climate's right and the winemaker's good, and the soil's there, it's up to that winemaker how he finishes it. So I
Right.
love that, right?
Yeah.
The same we're in the same now area of craft beer, for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, the Pilsner is kind of one that we developed. We had a Pilsner in the past, and for various marketing reasons, we actually rebranded it.
Yep.
But then we also changed the taste, and it was a very collaborative experience that we had. So we brought the team together, all walks of life.
I'm going to interrupt for a second.
Oh,
Yep.
uh-oh.
Research in the craft beer area is fantastic.
That's right.
Good
It
for
is. So we got to taste some good stuff. So
Yep.
first thing we did is collect some competitive product.
Yeah, yep.
And we get Hugh's guidance on this to kind of tell us a bit about it. Then we have a panel and we do some tasting and some sensory, and we landed on a recipe that we thought would be really good, and the Pilsner is the result of that, and it's very successful, and it's very crushable, as Patty said.
Yeah.
And at all the licensees really enjoy that, even from a tap basis as well. So it's been one of our top beers, and we expect big growth out of it this year. As far as my beer, again, I'm like the other guys, it's all depending on the time, but
Yeah.
the Brown Cow is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that I liked when I first came here, with the shake and pour in the can,
Yeah.
and the cascading nature of it. And it's just like a little comfort beer after dinner, and you sit there and snuggle by the fire. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like it's everybody's own experience, right? Like
Absolutely.
you're always trying to watch your weight, so I might lean towards some lighter brews, but at the end of the night, I want to finish with a nice, good, hoppy IPA. That's what I want to be my last thought, my last taste of the evening is like a nice IPA.
Yeah, I'm going to completely cop out on answering your question. Generally my favorite would be the K&P, just as the, love the caramelly,
Yep.
great drinking beer, very, very sessionable. It's actually, it's modeled just on a sessionable, kind of more of a UK kind of session beer. But I'm really, if it's the summer and I'm going camping,
Yeah.
the Pilsner. I'm all over the Pilsner. What do I want to have cold in the pack? And if it's winter,
More cooler.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I'm going skiing, I'm throwing some things in. I'm doing a Black Donald, nice, dry, fantastic stout, right? It's, but so yeah, so that's me. That's me walking the fence there.
There you go. Okay, so let's wrap up here by each of you kind of giving us a little glimpse into the future. Like, where are we going in the craft beer space? And I'll let you guys take this wherever you want to go in terms of the competition, in terms of what styles are maybe might be on the verge of taking off. I'll be interested in your take on that, you. But yeah, just where are we going in the craft beer space in Ottawa right now?
You know, for us, I'm gonna leave the style talk to the others. But you know, for Calabogie, where we're going, you know, is
Yeah.
is,
Scoops.
You know, we, like I said earlier, we absolutely want to broaden out and have a great destination area here in this area, and
Yep.
so we're working hard to make that happen. You know, I think that's great for beer lovers. I think it's great for Ottawa to have a more of a place where they can go to right now 3 places.
Yeah.
Let's get that up to 6, right?
Yep.
Let's get that up to 7 so that you can come in, park the car, have some food trucks out there in the
Yep.
summertime, walk around,
Great
have a
idea.
few pints,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the other great, so that's one thing. For us, I think we continue to take the market by storm. I think we're pushing out the best product in the area. You know, love our competitors, but I think we've got, you know, the cat's meow here in terms of what beer we make, and we really hit the key areas. We've got seasonals that will come out. We'll have special brews that come out. We'll do sours, you know, from time to time. We do a regular sour in the summertime.
Yeah.
But you know, we're really giving people what they want, and I think the reception's been fantastic. So we're going to just continue marching down that path. You know, absolutely. Do we want to be everywhere in Eastern Ontario? 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a race to get there. So that's my spiel. Who wants to go next?
Tom?
There you go. So one of the nice things is that as we've gone through that first year and excellent growth and building the team, we have the team in place now. So, and we've got our core product line. So now with the 3 brewers that we have, and with the market research and just meeting with licensees,
Yep.
we're really going to broaden our palette and our offer. So Tom spoke about the sours, the Goza. We have our watermelon Goza, which is a huge favorite in the summer. We're going to build on that. We're going to look at trends in the marketplace. You know, low cal, low carb.
Yep.
Get after that that segment of the market. So someone that's not necessarily crafty, but try and draw them in.
Yep.
We're going to follow trends, but now we have the team to do that, and now we have the process to bring a good quality beer as quickly as possible.
Yeah. You where do you see? I guess.
No matter what they say, whatever you do is what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Your opinion matters.
Yeah,
Where-
exactly.
where-
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you've got the great foundation here. Where do you go from here? Like,
Right,
is there
yeah,
much
so-
opportunity to add to this product line?
Absolutely. So the past year or so, we really focused on our core, and now we're going to start sort of broadening our area of expertise, I guess. So
Yep.
we're reinvesting in our barrel age program. So
I
we'll,
was going to go.
sorry. So we'll be coming out with more barrel aged stouts and stuff in the winter, more sours and that sort of thing. So we're focusing on that, as well as more like IPAs are a big trend, obviously, right
yep.
now. So we'll
God
be
love
coming
ya.
out with more IPAs. We've got one in the tank right now. I won't give too much away, but it's going to be delicious.
Nice. I'll look forward to that.
And then continually investing in the quality program. So just making sure that everything's up to snuff.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point that you guys were making in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah,
the
exactly.
consistency, that when people come in and they've got their favorite, that each time when you take that sip and you get that little aftertaste, it's like, yes.
Yeah,
Exactly
yeah,
what
it's
I
got to
was
be the
hoping
same
you
every
would
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. Sure. So we
You got
brewed-
the okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this
So-
just came out of the tank on Friday.
That's true. I'll touch on this first. So this is
Yep.
a collab that we did with Ridge Rock. It's a
Yep.
maple. It's called Maple Glazed. So it's a maple amber brewed with donuts, maple syrup, and coffee. So it's supposed
Talk
to be
about a
like,
Canadian brew.
exactly, yes. It's supposed to be like having your coffee and donuts,
Yep.
but in a beer format. So and it's very tasty. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
We're talking to Tim Hortons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also have an IPA that we brewed this week. So it's a New England style brewed with Vic Secret and Simcoe hops. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Just dry hopped it right before you guys came, so
Wow.
it's gonna be tasty.
Awesome. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Pat?
Yeah, I'm excited for the bottle aged, because what you can't see here is we have a room basically of what you see here full of barrels of beer.
Yeah.
Full
Yeah.
of big, Madeira, Chardonnay, Pinot, port, and we've done some of them. These guys have to go through and see what we like. We might start it all again, whatever it is, we have the capacity to do it.
Right.
It's a huge part of the market. And the other part that I want to touch on is if you go outside of Canada, besides Vancouver, we're tip of the iceberg craft brewery, right? Tip of the iceberg for where the U.S. and some of their craft brewery areas
Yes.
take their IPAs, take their bottle aged. There's lots of room for growth. So that I'm so excited to see, because Hugh is super talented and he's got an awesome team underneath him, right? That are bringing more stuff to the game now than we've ever had before, I think.
Right.
So that's what I love the core, and I think the core is exactly what it is. It's hitting a core.
Yeah.
Now what he can do with what we branch off, that's where I'm excited to see. Yeah. Yeah, so we are, with the location that Tom said in this area, district-wise, what we have filled is a real niche for people that wanted to do events outside of the norm
Right.
of what's been here 20 years.
Yep.
Hotel lobbies, average-looking this or that's, right? And this is, you can get a good look at what this is. This is a nice space. We can transform this to anything. But what we have been is very busy doing that, to the point where we have to shut down the tap room on
Right.
a regular basis. And we've got great customers that love the tap room as it is. So we are now behind that door back there, behind that wall, building a space that will look like a lodge. And if you want, we want
Very
to talk.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we want
yeah.
to talk a little bit about bringing Calabogie here. That's what this motif is: skis,
Yep.
lumber. Why? Yeah, why canoe? The canoe.
Yeah.
Why is this here? Well, if you've never been to Calabogie, that's what Calabogie is.
Yeah.
It's the great outdoors.
Well, and that's what we talk about. Like,
Yeah.
you need to be to represent yourself as your brand.
Yeah.
And be loyal to
Yeah.
what you stand for.
So what that room will also have is a 20 by 8 foot window of looking at our barrel aged room, right? So you want to talk about a wine cellar all hopped up?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it'll be, right? Exactly that. So we will now be able to taste that in a real manner, where it's like deserving of what is in the barrels and the time it takes
Cool.
to put in the barrels.
Yeah,
Because in Newfoundland we used to do swish barrels. And that was just making some god awful rum out of what, what I mean, by adding water, right?
Yeah.
So this is next level by, No, that's right. Nothing wrong with
Right.
that. But anyway, yeah, I just can't can't wait to see what Hugh does because there's so much more to the craft side of craft brewery than what Canadians have seen so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Sounds
Yep.
like exciting times ahead for Calabogie. Thanks so much, guys, for doing this, for giving us the time. And I hope some folks will come out and try not just your the basics, but looking forward to what you've got coming out in the immediate future. Thanks again so much for doing this. Thanks, Chris. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you.